Okay, good morning. How's everybody doing? Well, today we got an older movie that came out in 1963. And I know you're saying, oh man, I don't want to hear about that. It's too old for anything I want to do. Well, it is, unless you like John Wayne. And this is a John Wayne movie with John Ford. Big John and John Ford. And it's called Donovan's Reef. Now, this one is about two guys that don't like each other in World War II. One of them, United experienced United States Navy USN in the French Polynesia Islands, jumps ashore. Okay, so what happened in this movie is John Wayne got out of the army, and he got he went to this island where his friends and everybody else was, where they fought the war, and they just kind of stayed there after they got discharged. No reason to go home or anything like that. So they were talking. His buddy got one of the locals pregnant, and she was apparently the princess of the island, and he had 3 kids, the princess and 3 others. And John Wayne was kind of the Mr. Fix-It, bar owner, all that fun stuff. And the other guy, the one that they didn't like, the veteran, what did he call himself? Well, he could jump to shore. He was working on a French Polynesian ship that was going to pass by the islands where they were at, and wasn't going to ever stop towards the beginning of the movie. So he jumped off and swam ashore, and then went to when he got to shore, he got greeted by all the people with wreaths and all that stuff like Hawaii, flower rings around their neck, and it was all the way up to here or something. He couldn't hardly see, and then he ends up, the preacher talks to him on the way in, and then he goes to the bar, Donovan's bar. Then he ends up getting in a fight with John Wayne because they hate each other, and Doc gets him to stop because they were in the Tule Pond out back of the bar. It turned out to be a funny little movie. Then they were at each other's throats, and they were told to get along and work together. And back on the mainland, the Doc's company father, he was the one to inherit the company stocks and all that to control the company. His daughter there, older daughter there, didn't like the idea that Daddy was going to inherit, or Uncle was going to inherit the company, and wasn't anywhere in sight. So they write Doc, and then she shows up, and Doc was off taking care of some patients on the other side of the island, or another island. They were taken over there in bamboo canoes. Then he came back, and John Wade had the kids out, so they talked to him. Was taking care of the kids, and they talked to him over Morse code over the light, and it turned out to be a pretty funny movie. And then the commander of the base or place where they were at wanted away, so he was always writing letters. It turned out to be a fun little movie. It's a pretty good John Wayne style movie. At the end, John Wayne marries the niece or daughter or whatever, and goes back to the mainland with her after, treating a woman like they did in the 1960s, aggressive. And then the other guy inherits the bar, railroad track, gets married, and everybody lives happily ever after. Now, this is a movie that I kind of like, and I watch it over and over again. And it came in a pack of, 100 John Wayne movies. Most of the movies I've got for that, them type of movies, Lee Marvin, these type of movies for John Wayne are old, really old, and they're still in black and white, and some of them don't have sound even. But they're 30, 40-minute movies. And this is one of the longer ones, better ones that I grew up watching because, Dad liked them. So this movie is something that I've got in my collection. And this it's a funny movie. It really is. Even for 1961, it was a funny movie. And it turned out to be the really good movie, and I definitely recommend people go watch this, especially if you like old West or old John Wayne movies. It's not really a Western. Paramount Pictures put this one out. June 12th, 1963. It ran 100 minutes. It was in the United States. It's English, and they spent $2,686 on this. And they made $6,600 on this movie, thousand. And then I bet it's made more than that over the years with DVD sales and videotape sales and everything else. But this is actually a pretty good movie. There's lots of fighting. John Wayne, they do a lot of fighting in the movie, and a lot of arguing and a lot of twists and turns about how this is turning out. The lady falls in the water off a ship, and it turns out to be a good movie. And I like the John Wayne stuff anyway. So, John Ford was a good producer from the era, and his company probably still working. Anyway, so that's the end of this one. I'm calling it good. I don't know if I got enough time on it or not, but it doesn't really matter. It's kind of fun to do it anyway. So we'll talk to you later, and we'll see you with the next video.